As bad as my hands sometimes are now, way back when I was married, 2008, I remember these fingers, both hands. All I had to do is a little movement like this, side to side.
What fresh nightmare is this? I am not alive. This algorithm is mocking my life. I am trapped in digital hell.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is getting darker and darker, later and later. Well, staying darker and darker, later and later every morning because we're heading into winter. Yay! You'd never know it from the temperature. I mean, it's still hitting into the 70s, you know, into mid-October. So thumbs up for that. Still though, it is a day I slept, and little ghost here is, he's not getting better. It's just slow decline. As he lays there and sleeps, he breathes through his mouth going. But hamsters and other rodents don't breathe through their mouths, so that's bad. But he's still with us, and he's still moving around and drinking and eating and doing things just slower. And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, if you like what you hear and see, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, any comment, even for the algorithm, that would be double plus good. Definitely a thumbs up. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are helping to keep me and my, when they're not sick, helping to keep my pets alive too. Thumbs up and thank you, each one of these beautiful and awesome people. I'm sorry the list is not updated yet. My bloody executive dysfunction is terrible. But if you would like to be one of these beautiful people and help me stay alive, there are links in the video description, as well as links to a PayPal if you'd like to help me out that way. There's an Amazon wishlist link if you don't want to send any cash to help me out. And of course, I have a post office box where you can send me postcards, keychains, anything at all. I'll open them up in video. Thumbs up for that. Yay, front loading of videos over. So yeah, I've been dealing with, every time I hear him trying to breathe, it just drags me down. And I don't have it within me to, again, to euthanize him. I'd have to do it on my own, because we don't have any vets that deal with hamsters in town, and it's just, poor little guy. Poor little guy. But he's still with us anyway, and I had a med manager appointment yesterday with my med manager, and we are going to continue with my 150 milligrams of extended release Wellbutrin. I have talked with my therapist and now the med manager about, really, there's no med that's ever going to be good with my ADHD. I mean, even the Ritalin that I still, you know, call the golden city on the hill, toward the end, before I had to stop taking it, it had gone from here to only working this well. And nothing else works up there for long. I'm one of those people for whom meds won't work well. And especially at my age, I can't really treat it a whole lot. So, oh well. Life is life on that though. Life is life. And again, oh boy, it takes me so long just to shower. I took a shower yesterday afternoon. One of the reasons I didn't have any videos done, because it takes 2 hours from walking in to start my shower to walking out. I'm completely done. But this includes, I walk in and I trim my beard, I cut my hair to keep everything at roughly the same homogeneous length, and then I do such like that. So by the time I'm done and all finished, yeah, it's 2 hours, and that's me working as fast as I can. I can't move fast because of my chronic pain and weakness and fatigue and all that, so I do the best I can. So then I had to wait until, it's very loud outside, I had to wait until my hair and my body recovered. Well, my hair to dry, my body to recover, and then I went on to my 2-mile walkies. 2-mile, 6-mile round trip walkies, all the way to Walmart and back. So yeah, I was really sore, really tired, and oh boy, this hand is just really killing me. This finger here is causing me no end of troubles. The thing is, as bad as my hands sometimes are now, way back when I was married, 2008, I remember these fingers, both hands, all I had to do is a little movement like this, side to side, and it burned like a hot wire was running 220 current through my arm. It was just, it was horrific. So yeah, that may be actual arthritis, but even that is nothing compared to what it was. So, joy, life is life. So I've been sleeping and trying to do the best I can and going on walkies, and just my mind is a mess, doing the best I can to try and survive everything that's just the normal pressures of life in the United States. If you don't have access to money or health care, you know, housing is a huge problem here in the United States. And then just dealing with the minor things, of ghost here. And then just, life. Still, you do what you can, and I'm surviving as best I can, and trying to do other creative things, because I have been, even if I haven't been able to physically write, even if I've been too busy being an alcoholic to do anything really intense on writing, I have been a writer, just not a paid professional writer, my whole life. And so writing and being creative is an intensely deep part of my personality. So of course I'm going to be working on stuff no matter what. So thumbs up on that. And of course, just as a reminder for everybody, you do not have to monetize your passions. Plus, if you enjoy doing something, you don't have to go any further with it. I've mentioned this before, but it made a big impression on me when I read it. If you are a person that enjoys just creating settings and you like to write them down in notebooks, awesome, you're being creative. You don't have to sell them. You don't have to show them to people. You don't have to do anything more than just make a setting that pleases you, and then you go on to the next one to be creative still. You don't have to be successful in your creativity to be successful in your creativity. You don't have to monetize your passions. You just have to please yourself. So, that said, if I never manage to do anything so that I can actually write out my Razor's Edge stuff and my cryptid stuff, that's okay. Number one, I mean, I have to push through executive dysfunction, my ADHD, the part of me that is just has the horrific aversion to doing this stuff. It's okay if I can't. Just being creative, coming up with this stuff, and it has been a joy in the past couple of years to come up with my cosmic horror framework and all the various settings that have fallen in place inside of all of this. So thumbs up for that. And of course, taking a look down on my list to see what else I have on here. Oh yes, I talked about this the other day with the game Paint the Town Red. Years, literally years, I could not get past the 4th level in the first challenge of the arena section of the game Paint the Town Red. Years. I have also been the kind of person that if I set myself down and say, damn it, I want to do this with something in a video game that I can't do, I can spend a half a day at it and become moderately proficient. Because in just the couple days that I spent doing arena, the arena portion, there are 10 challenges, 10 arenas on the first challenge, and I couldn't get past the 4th one. Now it's just I blaze through without even worrying or thinking about this all the way up to the last challenge. And that took me like 4 days worth of just trying. That now it's not even an issue. The only problem with the last arena of the challenge is there's one boss from like the 3rd challenge or such, the big Yakuza guy, that takes me about 10 minutes of just kicking to take the guy down. There's another boss that is like a gym person. That takes about 5 minutes of dedicated kicking. And there's another prison type boss that is bigger and faster. They take about 8 minutes worth of kicking. You also have 2 others that you have to really approach safely, because while they're not as big bossy as the big bosses, you can't just run up and kick them, because you dash up, you kick them, and they just go thump, and then they go, okay, my turn. So, I can take those ones out, I can knock them around for a while, but then the 3 5 to 8 minute bosses at the same time, all in one lump, because they all travel on the same pathfinding stuff, and so they clump up. Ugh. I'll get through it. It's just other challenges on, well, other arenas on other challenges, they have the characters that'll be carrying shields. And you can't just run up and kick them from the front, because it just goes bonk off the shield, and then they've got their weapon. So you've got to be very, very careful and tough that way. Another challenge, I do not know how I'm going to get through it. There's another portion of the game that's called Beneath, or some such like that, where you're traveling again through roguelike underground dungeons as types of characters. And I don't really like or understand that portion of it, but one of the arenas in the challenges has a bunch of crystalline monsters from that. And they're fun because they shoot lasers. You have no weapon. I have no ideas how you're supposed to do this. So thumbs up for that. Also on here, I have been also, weirdly enough, trying to look up hex crawl games, because now that I've got a couple good dungeon crawl games with No Quest and 4 Against Darkness, D100 Dungeon, and I've been downloading some other free ones, I've been going, gosh, you know, I should get a good hex crawl. And hex crawling is just, instead of dungeon crawling where you're mapping on a dungeon, is you're just doing overland adventures where each hex is just a certain square number of kilometers or miles or whatever as you travel overland, discovering what the actual overworld looks like, and you deal with everything that you find in that hex. They have all sorts of people that have made them for all sorts of other types of games. There are other professional games that are hex crawls. Now it's just going, gosh, what I'm gonna do? And then it was like, well, what am I gonna do? Well, how silly of me. My little hamster's trying to drink. I'm gonna give a squish to the bottle to help him a little tiny bit, because I don't want him to struggle. Any amount of help that I can give him, I will do. But the game Note Quest has an exceptionally simple hex crawl system. And that is exceptionally simple. I mean, you start in a hex, and then you just roll a 6-sided die to see what the other hexes are, like plains, mountain, forest. That's a really, really simple one, and you deal with the world around that. All the way up to D100 Dungeon, which, when you're traveling along on the overworld part of the game with each hex, you're not just rolling, oh, it's forest. Oh no, you roll a name for it, and then you find out what type of thing is in the hex, but then you have to deal with, you're traveling on a road, how does the road continue? And if it does continue, does it pass through any kind of village or settlement that's here in this hex? And is there a river nearby? And if a river does pass through the hex, where does the river pass through to? Where is the river going? You spend a lot of intense time figuring stuff out. I don't need to look for hex crawl games. I've got hex crawl games. I still downloaded a lot of new stuff that I'm going to be looking through, so thumbs up though. I have mentioned before, I get almost as much enjoyment, if not more, or at least the same amount, just from reading and imagining with RPG materials as I do actually playing them. Little Ghost is wandering around. In fact, he's poking through, he's knocking stuff, and he's walking. He's slower, he's clumsier, he kind of falls over because he's not getting as much air. But he's snuffling and moving and digging, and so he's trying, he's fighting, he's doing his best to survive. Now, on to the whole Razor's Edge stuff. Is there's anything that I can think of that I was working on last night, and I can't even really remember what I was thinking of when I was on Blockies last night. I mean, I know there's something. There has to have been something I was thinking about, because I was 2 hours on my walkies. I had to have been thinking of something creative. Whatever it was, I don't know. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I have written down that I've written about before, because I have a whole bunch of characters that, if you haven't been around long enough, and if you have watched this far, thumbs up and thank you. It is appreciated. No one has forced you to watch or listen, so you've done so of your own volition. It is greatly appreciated. But I have all sorts of characters that are bizarre and interesting, and I do want to talk about them again, just as a reminder for people who have been and have listened, and hey, here's some interesting characters I've made for people that haven't heard. I mean, I don't really have time to go into anybody really in depth right now, but one of them that I want to re-talk about, because I've spent a lot of time dealing with them, is the fact that there's one character who's a doppelganger, and there's two types of doppelgangers in the game. In the world system, there's the type of doppelganger that will attack and crawl into your body, eat you from the inside, then wear your skin and pretend to be you so that they continue to devour. And then there's doppelgangers like the one character I like, Henrik Ibdn. They are a race of doppelgangers. He has been presenting as Henrik for a long time before he moved to the city of Apple Rock. Once there, he became a victim to the gases emitted by the kaiju, and so his thinking was altered and changed by all these compounds. But in the few years that, in his first early few years, he met and started to fall in love with this one woman called Issa, and after 5 years, they became a couple. And he was presenting as about 40 when he moved into the city. She was 40. She, at the time of this thing happening, the rampage of the kaiju, is 60. He is presenting as 60. They have had a good life together. She knows he's a doppelganger. She says, I do not fall in love with a monster. You are not a monster. I fell in love with a good man. He has not believed this, that he is a good person, until the kaiju rampages. And he's at first thinking, I should be on the side of the kaiju. Why am I feeling so angry at this thing? Until he realizes, yeah, I am a part of this community. Why would I want the kaiju to win? I am pissed that it was eating members of my community, members of my people that I know. And he discovers that, yeah, he has been chipping away at the monster to reveal the man underneath. He hates being a doppelganger. He has tried as much as he can. He is a man. He is proud to be a man. He knows he's not a human being, but he is a man. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's not many, never is anymore, but anything more than 0 is awesome. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count in American Sign Language, you've already seen how my brain works. We have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you very, very much, and always good to see you in the comments. Indigo, thumbs up, and thank you very, very much. Jayy, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, and good luck and best of luck to you as well. Forum, hopefully you see this, good to see you in the comments, and thumbs up. We have Fatshroom666, I don't know, but we have Zach Campbell, greatly appreciated, thumbs up. There is Not Kuro, thumbs up and thank you. Bullet Fast Speed, greatly appreciated. There is Adrian FNTES, greatly appreciated, thumbs up, always good to see you as well. Chris, thumbs up. I'm feeling pretty good, I just wish Ghost would feel better. There's RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated and good to see you as well. Widget51, thumbs up and thank you. Ben B, good to see you in the comments as well. And that is it. 13 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated. Get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you. Yay! Well, I'm going to try and get some stuff done today. I didn't get a ton done yesterday because I had to take a shower. I had my mid-manager appointment. So I'm going to try and get stuff done, but if I can't, survival mode is important. If you have to go into survival mode, please do so. And of course, with the pandemics and stuff, please just take appropriate care for your situation and location. Be smart. Don't get sick. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.